It's about to go down. So bear with me. I'm about to steal like 7 minutes of your life, but I promise it's worth every single moment. This is the love story. I still love this girl. Man, but she like 20 years older than me. And she took a young ghetto black boy and formed a soldier of me. She was a shoulder to me. And surely without her, I wouldn't be the young man that you see, much less an MC. I remember she was there with me when my nephew did his first rap about straight A's on his test. And from that day on, it went from life to a quest. She was there with me when I used to eat with corn pops and play Lego blocks in a box full of sand, and she held my hand the first time I heard Glock shots pop and the sirens of a late ambulance. And even though she was flaky and always changing her stance, she would wipe the tears from my eyes and tell me bust a freestyle and dance, man. Back in the 90s, life was a trance. I remember a teacher told me if you listen to her, you'll never advance. And I said, you don't even know her, homie. You never even gave her a chance. 10 years old with a hand-me-down Walkman and a sag in my Compton Unified uniform, Goodwill pants, and a straight out of Compton cassette. Shit, it was love at first glance. And I still love this girl. As I got older, we got closer, developed a bond. She would stimulate my mind every time she would sing me a song. She would pour me a drink. She would pass me the bong. And every time that she left, she was never gone for too long, like Bill Withers. So she was my sunshine. As a matter of fact, she was the first one who told me it was okay to point my middle finger at one time, press and repeat every time the beat it reached the end of its run time, analyzing her bars and decoding her punchlines. I had her since my cup of noodle and Kool-Aid tropical punch times. She elevated my expectations. They said she was an Illuminati Freemason, but I didn't care because I knew she had a bad reputation. I was infatuated with her. But most of all, I loved the energy, her double entendres, her metaphors, and her similes. She was the voice of the inner city, the county building symphony. And you can't help but feel her soul every time your eardrums even enter her vicinity. She even squashed beefs and made friends from enemies. She would illustrate so vividly, she made my words to imagery. She became the channel for me to lyrically manifest creativity, ultimately maximizing my potential ability. She wasn't a girl, she was a goddess, my little slice of divinity. And R&B was her brother, and that's why I loved her. But one day she replaced her depth with simplicity. She used to be pure, but corporations raped her and stole her virginity. Then she lost all her chivalry. Nas once said she was dead, but a real fan knows hip-hop don't die. We multiply for infinity. And I still love this girl, but I no longer think the feeling is mutual. She used to be a free spirit, now she all institutional. Now she ugly and disrespectful, but she used to be beautiful. She used to be that. She used to be this. She used to be a boombox on your shoulder while you bobbing your head and shaking your hips. Now she about a fresh fit gold chain and pair of white kicks. When she used to be Huey Newton on the front line pumping a pair of black fists. She still tells stories and stand up to peer cops. But ask her what's more important now. The cause of the wristwatch. Or the beat that 50 in game got. A Biggie or Tupac. A rapping a hip hop accent. When would the shit stop? A banging your headphones every time a new ignorant hit drop. Common said she was an angel and that he used to love her. Kanye was her main man until he lost his mother. Lupe Fiasco said she saved his life, and before Beyonce, Jay-Z was a lover. But when the funds came in, it became all about the guns and the butter. Aiming guns at your brothers. Crime in the community, now windows got bars where there used to be shutters. She became ruthless. She became the Virgin Mary of the local dealers, killers, pushers, and shooters. Who would have thought my first love would be the one that's making us stupid? This is stupid. How we let them take her from us and stereotype our men as criminals and our women as sluts. How we let the white man dissect her, put her on the table and cut. They trying to take the new culture, but hold up. Wasn't taking the old culture enough? And I still love this girl, but she's dying of corporate HIV. She contracted it when she became ratchet and prostituted herself to MTV and BET. They say she caused it all on CNN, Slyfox, and NBC. She lost her way. She went from an art to an industry. They said she the reason that we ride and break all the laws. Well, there's a homicide every day and young black and brown men got guns in their drawers. They said she the reason why black women is over-sexualized and objectified, and the reason LAPD got off even though Rodney King had testified. They say she the reason we get incarcerated and lethal injections. The reason Zimmerman got off even though Trayvon wasn't holding the weapon. They said hip-hop is why the projects is hopeless, why we sexist and reckless and straight homophobic. They said blame it on hip-hop. Not slavery, not the Klan, not Jim Crow or systematic oppression, but blame it on them damn niggas and their musical preference. And we still love this girl, but she's almost dead. Hip-hop looks up at me from the head of a hospital bed and says, pull the plug, and I give her a hug. I said, I can see past the Soulja Boys, Chief Keefs, Bobby Shmurdas, and remember the love. I remember Tupac told me it was the heaven for thugs. I remember KRS One told me to stay away from the drugs. I remember Snoop and Mac 10 told me about the Crips and the Bloods. And when NWA said express yourself, they said it with love. Shit. Eminem had me screaming Slim Shady, cleaning out my closets. Bone Thugs had me up early on the first waiting on deposits. Wu-Tang taught me about the cream and making my ends. Shit, even Drake taught me how to start from the bottom without making new friends. I remember Curtis Blow taught me about the breaks. J. Cole said watch the grass cause it's full of snakes. Ice Cube said check yourself before you wreck yourself. Most Def said never sell your soul for a record sale. Jay-Z taught me money and power was changing us. Busta Rhymes taught me how to be dangerous. Now I said I could be whatever I wanted to be. Biggie taught me no matter how I looked, I could still be me. And this is more than rap. I'm more than a fan, I'm a pupil, and hip-hop made me what I am. I will always love this girl. Hip-hop is love, hip-hop is the truth. Hip-hop is that burst of confidence when you first start to spit in the booth. Hip-hop is attitude, hip-hop is altitude, hip-hop is validation of underestimated expectations of mental aptitude. Hip-hop is Lauryn Hill singing about patriarchal misogyny. Hip-hop is speaking up about America and its broken economy. Hip-hop is no food in the fridge and no bread in the bread box. Hip-hop is E40 standing on top of a chariot shaking his dreadlocks. Hip-hop is the sound of a DJ scratch. Hip-hop is the hood barbecue where no gasket clap. Hip-hop ain't the teacher telling you to talk this out. Hip-hop is LL Cool J screaming, mama said knock you out. Hip-hop is J. Cole and The Rock, and Kendrick and Top Dog. Hip-hop is throwing a Molotov cocktail at the side of a cop car. Hip-hop is the city of angels to the 5 boroughs of the Empire State. Hip-hop is the south side of Chicago to the White House gates. Hip-hop is Biggie and Pac shaking hands on the other side saying East Coast, West Coast, beef was stupid. Hip-hop is Eazy-E coming back from the grave and taking control of Ruthless. Hip-hop is graffiti on your wall, on your bathroom stall. Hip-hop is the first time you ride a bike in Compton and you scrape your knee when you fall. Hip-hop is spontaneous, low-income schoolhouse fitting. Hip-hop is your auntie in the kitchen cooking stank-ass chitlins. Hip-hop is you dunking on your friends at a neighborhood court. Hip-hop is the Nation of Islam dude on the corner telling you to put down the pork. Hip-hop is the answer, oppression's worst enemy. Hip-hop is a fat black middle finger stuck up the ass of white supremacy. Hip-hop is protest, hip-hop is defiance. Hip-hop is refusal to conform to oppressive compliance. Hip-hop is doing something about Mike Brown and Trayvon laying in caskets. Shit. Hip-hop is a plantation full of pissed off field niggas stringing up they master. Hip-hop is a black king with a nappy afro and a fist raised next to a black queen with a head full of French braids and 2 shovels and switchblades to dig corrupt pig graves. Hip-hop is not your grandma and grandpa's civil rights generation. Hip-hop is the unified force dedicated to the eradication of race-based hatred. Hip-hop is our culture, hip-hop is our thoughts, and I'll be damned if we let them take it, because that's all that you got. They say you passed long ago, but through the test of time you survived, and hip-hop will never die as long as our fans are alive.